Ladies and gentlemen, our next event of the evening is a cage match. One fall with a 60-minute time limit. This is a cage match. One fall with a 6-minute time limit. No disqualification for the World Heavyweight Championship. Special referee appointed for this match is former professional wrestling great from Vancouver, British Columbia, Gene Kiniski. Gene Kiniski. Introducing first, ladies and gentlemen, the challenger and former World's Heavyweight Champion from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing in at 240 pounds, ladies and gentlemen, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. His opponent, the World's Heavyweight Champion from Kansas City, Missouri, weighing in at 255 pounds, Harley Race.
We've got an interesting situation here tonight. We have Gene Kiniski, former World Heavyweight Champion himself. He was defeated by Dory Funk Jr. for the title. You've got Dusty Rhodes, 2 times World Heavyweight Champion here tonight. Ric Flair, 2 times World Heavyweight Champion, and Harley Race, 7 times World Heavyweight Champion. I can think of 2 words that may sum up this entire match tonight for the 10 pounds of gold. 2 words that I think are critical here: intensity and execution. And the man who has the greatest intensity and the best execution, I feel, is going to keep the title.
I think you're right, Gordon. The man who executes best is going to come out the winner. Well, the tension has been building. It's been mounting for months and months now, and it's all going to culminate right here. And 2, we might point out, Harley Race time and time again, Gordon, talked about that it was demeaning for him, the world champion, to get inside of a fence and to wrestle inside a cage.
Well, I can understand how he feels about it. However, I think to make absolutely sure, and I certainly have to congratulate Jim Crockett Promotions for this, I think to make absolutely sure that there is no question in the outcome of the match, this absolutely ensures that nobody from outside can interfere. Nobody can give either man the upper hand. And I know Gene Kiniski. I've watched him wrestle a long, long time. He is a tough-minded official. He will call it right down the middle.
And fans, again, to set the stage just a little, let's go back to months ago when Harley Race put up the $25,000 bounty on Ric Flair's head for anyone who would put Ric Flair out of wrestling. Then Harley Race saying that he would not wrestle Flair, that he would never give Ric Flair an opportunity for the championship. Well, here it is, Starrcade 83, a Flair for the goal, and Harley Race in the ring inside the cage against Ric Flair, and you're watching it live right now. And Ric Flair, he has been chasing that belt and chasing Harley Race for a long time. He has got to be hyped and right to the extent of his being right now.
Both men with fantastic intensity at this point, and his Flair kicking off a collar and elbow into a side headlock into a hip lock takedown on the champion. And Harley Race trying to turn that into his own advantage, and neither man able to gain the advantage. Back on it, and Kiniski warning him. Kiniski warning Flair, keep those hands open. Keep the hands open.
Gordon, both men have trained for this match like they've trained for no other match. Ric Flair has been in training for a long time. He's been pushing himself right to the extent that his body could take, and Harley Race has been doing the same thing. Harley Race knew that this was going to be the match of his life right here, and that he had to be better prepared than for any match he had ever wrestled.
Well, Race has wrestled over half of his entire lifetime. He began his wrestling career when he was only 17 years old. An interesting contrast here between Flair and Race. Race began, as I said, at the age of 17. Flair, of course, carried his amateur career from high school on to the University of Minnesota, leaving the University of Minnesota, going into the pro ranks of wrestling. So you have here Race with the edge in the professional experience, but Flair perhaps with the edge in the basic background of wrestling.
All right, and there as Flair was backed into the ropes, Race got a knee up into the midsection. Now he and Kiniski are having some words, and they're pretty strong words at this point. And Flair just telling Kiniski, let me handle him. I'll take him right now myself. Into the ropes when Kiniski told him to break. All right, now here's Race into the ropes. Let's see what happens. There's that knee. It's tit for tat right there.
Well, of course, the name on the marquee is wrestling, and there's a good snapmare that takes the champion to the canvas. A rear chinlock by Ric Flair. Kiniski checking very quickly to make sure it's not a chokehold. And again, you can see the battery of photographers from all over the world are here tonight. Bill Apter, Craig Peters, Hanshu Ripstock from Singapore. They're all here, and it's, I'll tell you, it is really something. Because it is. It's for all the gold. It's for that 10 pounds of gold that'll go around the winner's waist tonight.
Flair now still with a headlock. Race down on one knee. They're out here in the center of the ring. Flair putting hard pressure on that head. It's going to be back to the ropes again by Race. And off to the knee again. Evan got him in the chin. Race got the knee. Now he was going to follow that headbutt, that standing headbutt. Flair rolling over, just missed it.
Race will do that. He uses his entire body as a battering ram, and Flair caught him. A good chop.
He's got that leg hooked, Gordon. Not even for a count. Still Race right then able to kick out before the referee, Gene Kiniski, even got the count of one on him.
Flair keeping a side headlock now on Harley Race, the champion on the canvas. But the champion, I'll tell you something, an extremely resourceful man. And I'll go back to what I said earlier. I think it's going to be a question of intensity and execution. And who knows, Bob, perhaps even a bit of luck if somebody gets a lucky break.
I think you're 100% right. So far, Gordon, during the match, it looks like Flair may have the most intensity, that at this point that he may seem to want it a little more than Race does. At the same time, it seems that Race is a little cooler of the two, that he really has a little more laid back at this point and really knows what he's doing, as Flair seems to be a little more intense.
Well, good point, and the point being that Flair has to carry the battle to Race. Race can, if Race can go the hour and Flair cannot get the pinfall, Race retains his title. So time is his ally, and it's the enemy of Ric Flair. And that's the point where Flair, and this may cause Flair, if he's showing that intensity now, it may cause him to make a mistake. It could cause him to make a mistake, or it could cause him to exhaust himself.
I was going to say, yeah, he could tire more quickly. That could certainly happen to him. But both men, as we mentioned earlier, in excellent physical condition, and you're talking about an hour. It's hard to realize that two men could get in the ring and really wrestle and go at each other for that length of time. But fans, believe me, these two men are in the shape and the physical condition. They could do it and then some, Gordon.
Well, yeah, it's interesting, too. You know, the average amount of body contact in a pro football game, the average actual body contact is about 14 and a half minutes. So in a one-fall, 1 hour time limit, and let's project and think that this match does go the hour and neither man is able to be the victor. That could be equivalent then to 4 pro football games that these fellows are going with no timeouts.
That's right, no timeout.
No time to go to the bench, no halftime. It'll
no
be one
sub
solid
either,
hour.
Gordon. That's right, no sub. Out of the air to play right there. And Race just worked it around and got him in a position for that. I think he caught Flair unaware. Flair did not suspect that was coming, and Race worked him into a position to lower the boom, and he was coming with a elbow, and again he missed that. Flair knows, and you can tell in the opening minutes of the match here, Flair realizes when he's on the mat, he's got to be prepared that Race is going to come with something.
Good counter by Race on that one. Excellent counter. But twice Race rather, has failed to execute. I don't know if this is a sign of the times or an indication of things to come, but twice he failed to execute. And as you and I were discussing earlier, intensity and execution.
Now Flair rolling around on the mat toward the ropes, holding that head. He took a couple of hard blows to that head, and he's dizzy at this point. He is feeling it, trying to get those cobwebs out of his mind. As Race, if he can, is going to continue to carry the battle to him with a knee right down across the throat. The referee now trying to get him separated near the ropes.
Here's where I think the additional years of professional experience is serving Harley Race. He does have that advantage. He's got about 18 or better years in the pro ranks, but he is now beginning to get his comeuppance from former world champion Gene Kiniski, and but I think that his elongated period of professional experience could possibly take the toll here on Ric Flair.
When Flair gets to his feet, Race slams into the turnbuckle, comes again with a hard blow to the head, and he continues to work on the head of Flair now. Right down to the back of the neck with a rabbit punch. And that may have been on the ear, as Flair seems to be holding his ear at this point while he's on the mat.
Well, obviously, Race is going to pull out all stops, and we heard an exclamation from the challenger, Ric Flair, and that may have given the additional intensity that Race may need. He knew he hurt his man, and it'll be curious now to see how quickly and how fast he closes in on the challenger, because the challenger is in trouble. No question about it. Flair in trouble. There is a countdown now, and referee Kiniski tells him to resume the match, and it is Harley Race trying to set him up for the pile driver. And this may be it. This could be it. No, sir. Boy, I'll tell you something. Flair. And again, Race not executing.
He did not stay on top of him at this point, Gordon. He backed away when he had him in trouble, and when he went with the pile driver, you would think right away that he would go for the pin. A count of two, and Flair gets that shoulder up very quickly. Race, he may have laid back just too far and too long at that point.
Whether his own sense of inner timing is off or what, or whether the problems he's had with the referee Kiniski is bothering him, or what it is, but Flair doesn't seem to have that concentration. Race doesn't seem to have the concentration, rather. Flair is hurt, he's in trouble, and
where's the killer instinct? That's what we're looking for at this point, right?
And he's got it. Race has got it, no question about it. But neck breaker.
Neck breaker, right. He has punished Flair. He's been on top of him now for several minutes. He has carried the action to him. He has hurt him. He's beat him around the head, and he has worked over that head and that neck, but he can't put him away.
So far, you're exactly right. So far, he has been unable to put him away, but he is getting closer and closer to it. Harley Race, 7 times world heavyweight champion. And now offering the man a chance to get back to his feet. An unusual gesture for Harley Race, an unusual gesture indeed, but he must be feeling very, very confident at this point in time. And of course, he's the one who has his hands on Flair. He's the one who can tell how the muscle response is, how quickly or how aggressively Flair is moving back against him. And he may have full and total confidence and may be exactly correct.
All right, from overhead and our camera high in the ceiling here, you get a look at the action in the ring as Race has Flair up on his shoulder. And what's he going to be? That running shoulder slam with the mat. He almost drove him right into the mat with that shoulder.
Some 75 feet above the ring, it's Harley Race, and there you see Gene Kiniski.
Again, he and the referee are having some words.
Flair drives one to the midsection of Race. Caught him right on the belt line.
Gordon, I don't think Race is aware of the fact, but if Flair comes back at this point, that could be a bad point for Harley Race, unable to put him away when he had him in trouble.
That is Race now taking some desperation punches, but he fires back.
That headbutt cut his legs right out from under him.
Did indeed. You just can't sell him short. You can't sell him short. And he caught him using his body as a human battering ram once again. And Flair, amazingly, gets to his knees. I'll tell you, if you had to grade intensity, I'd have to grade them equal now.
That's right. I think you're right at this point. And Harley Race now, who for the last several minutes has really taken the action to Ric Flair, and Flair is in trouble. That dream of his slammed again to the cage. His face driven into that chain link cage as Race slammed him hard to the ropes. Flair's visions of the gold and the championship have got to be a little blurred at this point. Again, he's going to go to that cage.
Well, Harley Race is doing something that I'm not surprised at. He's turning that cage into an ally. He's using the cage now almost as a tag team partner. And again, there is that edge and experience in the pro ranks, some 17 or 18 years as a professional competitor. And remember, too, here's a man who at one point in his career was told he would never wrestle again. And then to come back and win the World Heavyweight Championship, an unprecedented 7 times, he has got to have the intensity. He's got to have the drive, the desire, like no other man that I've ever known. And it's a question now, is can Flair withstand this kind of intensity? And again,
here the referee is pulling him out of the corner as he refused to let Ric Flair out of the corner. Flair already cut. Kiniski holding Race to keep him off of Flair, and Flair coming with a right hand, and now he gets a few stern words from referee Kiniski.
No question about it. Flair's face rapidly becoming a crimson mask as
that's from being slammed into that cage, too,
right.
Harley.
That steel cage has taken its toll, and of course, with the loss of that vital life-giving fluid, and it's Flair with a headbutt with a headbutt now, and Kiniski again warning Harley Race about his tactics. Brother, when you're talking about anywhere from, and there another overhead shot, that's about 75 feet up, and I'll tell you something, it really gives you an interesting overview of this World Championship match.
And it's turning now into a battle of stamina. Who's going to be able to survive and stand it? Race whipped into the turnbuckle in the corner now by Flair. He reversed it on him in center of the ring and slams Race into that corner, and now I believe Race is cut around the head.
It could be indeed. We'll try and get a little closer look, but it looks, I think you're right. I think Race has been lacerated, champs. And so it may be changing. The tide of this battle may be changing.
Now Flair quickly back to the attack on Harley Race. He slammed Race to the turnbuckle, slammed him back to the fence. High into the air with a knee drop.
And Race's face is indeed, his head is indeed lacerated. And Ric Flair now seems to have some newfound confidence. And perhaps just the sight of the crimson on Race has given Flair that added impetus, given him that added courage.
That's right, and he's got him in a position for the power driver. Here's Race, high in the air, down with a power driver. Let's see now how Flair attacks it. He goes right for the pin. Earlier, Race did not do that. Flair came right back, but Race got a foot across the ropes. Harley, Ric Flair right there. Gordon tried to put Harley Race away.
No question about it. Again, back to execution, and it is Race now in trouble. It's Race who's on the receiving end, Flair on the giving end. And this is certainly a turnabout in this match, a deep double underhook. And high suplex. Trying for the pin, 2.
Ric Flair just that close to being the world champ. One more count. He got a count of 2 on him.
A heartbeat away, just a heartbeat away.
Fence again. Down goes Race.
Got to say one thing for Ric Flair. He learns quickly. He took that punishment early on, and he found out how damaging it can be. And at that point in time, almost cost him the match. Now he's dishing out the same kind of dessert to Harley. That time he caught the pole itself.
Now referee Gene Kiniski having some words with Flair about the fence.
Well, and I can't say that I blame him. Kiniski is a classic competitor, and he goes by the name of the Marquis Wrestling, and he wants these men to wrestle. It's Race now with a headbutt to the lower abdomen of Ric Flair that doubles him up and puts him back to the canvas.
Gordon, it almost had to be this type of match. You could almost know it was coming with the tension and the way the tension had been building outside of the fact the fact that Harley Race had put the bounty on Ric Flair's head, that there was so much bad blood between these men, and now he's just going to grind Flair's head right into that chain link.
Well, Flair's got to come away from this looking like a piece of raw hamburger. And I'll tell you what, Race better watch himself. He's got himself a handful of problems with Gene Kiniski.
Now as Flair gets to his feet, right there waiting on him is Race. Backs him to the ropes. And again, he's going to slam him hard into that fence. Flair with a wild swing. And down he goes from the headbutt again.
Flair back to his feet, and Kiniski trying to break up that right fist. And these two men are forgetting all about rules and regulations. They're out to destroy one another, no question about it. He got away from it in the count of 2.
Flair had him covered with a press. Again, he failed to hook that leg, and at the count of 2, Race managed to kick out. Now the elbow. Now Flair, feeling he's got him right where he wants him. Look at him just drive that right hand hard to the face.
And Flair seems to have gotten a great second wind here. Back on his feet and feeling apparently very confident. But he is indeed...
He's a mess, and he looks a mess.
The problem here is how much loss of that... just how much loss of blood can you take before you begin to feel the effects of it?
Here's Race on the mat. Is he getting up for the figure 4? Yeah.
Into the spinning toe hold, executing from there to the figure 4.
He's got it locked.
He's got the figure 4. It's a question now. Harley Race can settle for one of 2 things. A broken leg or a broken ankle. And Flair is putting it to him. Race. Oh, I've got to hand it to Race. Anybody else would have conceded by now.
He's trying to turn into the mat, and if he can turn Flair over, he can come out of it. Very, very seldom you'll ever see a man with the strength and the ability to do that. Almost had Flair turned.
He has reversed it. He has reversed the figure 4, but Flair brings it back. Flair brought it back, but they're into the ropes. I have seen that happen one time. Seen it happen one time. That a figure 4 was reversed and reversed successfully. In this one, he did reverse it, but Flair came back on him again.
That's right. Almost the end right there for Harley Race as he goes back to that headbutt when Flair comes charging after him. And there are 2 wounded bulls in the ring right now. They're both fighting on instinct and determination. And their hatred for each other. I think that's what's driving them at this point.
Could be the driving force, and it is Race, however, is having a bit of a problem walking. He's not tried to set him. That leg may have given way on him.
And into the referee goes Flair.
That application of the figure 4 may be the telling factor in this match.
Another headbutt, and down again goes Ric Flair. Race goes back to the corner. Onto the ropes. Up on the second rope, standing. Over that rope with that headbutt. He may have hurt himself about as much as he did Flair there, Gordon.
Well, that's an interesting point. He's shaking his head, trying to clear those cobwebs, but Flair trying gamely to get back to his feet. Came out a lateral press by the champion, Harley Race. A 2 count, and Race powers out again. One thing that I certainly admire about the referee, Gene Kiniski, his count is deliberate and steady. So nobody can argue about a fast count or a slow count.
You're 100% right. And again now, here is Harley Race helping Flair to his feet. He's got him in that front face. He's going to get him up, and here we're going to go, Gordon.
High vertical suplex by world champion Harley Race. Race then moving into the lateral press.
Again, the count of 2. And when the hand was raised for the 3rd count again, Ric Flair just did kick out.
High above the ring now, you're watching these 2 tremendous gladiators battling it out for the World Heavyweight Championship. 10 pounds of gold.
Flair on the mat. Race now just keeps driving that left hand of his right into the face. Flair unable to defend himself. His hands down at his sides at this point. Could this be the finishing moments for Ric Flair in his dream and the Flair for the gold?
Well, it well could be, no question about it. Harley Race now with the upper hand and Flair in trouble. Flair doubling up those hands and firing away, but those punches just don't have any authority.
Gordon, he swung at that midsection in and he just missed it, and he had no drive or force behind that blow at all. It was just a very weak blow from Flair. Again into the cage and over the top rope. And he looks at this point like a beaten man.
Ric Flair, the challenger, and it appears now that he is certainly not going to be able to take the edge here on the World Heavyweight Champion Harley Race. Race getting some extra leverage that time.
Kiniski just grabs him by the hair to pull him away.
I'll say one thing, former world champion Gene Kiniski is indeed doing an outstanding job as an official. He has been totally fair-minded throughout this entire match. But it looks to me now like Harley Race, the experience, the intensity, and the execution. Well, good block, good block. Grapevine by Flair. Grapevine into a vertical suplex by Ric Flair.
Now here's the challenger, back at the champion. Again, desire, determination, and sheer guts that they're fighting right now.
And Flair may be having some problems with his vision right now. His face absolutely covered in...
Down goes the referee. I think you're right, Gordon, and I think he could be. Race caught him with a knee right into the midsection. Now back to the corner. You got him cornered, and he's going to fight his way out.
Flair,
the referee still down
right
on his
hand.
knees, and the referee in trouble right now. Here's Flair up on the top rope.
He's got him down. One, two, three. He did it. He did it. Ric Flair has done it. No question about it. Ric Flair has just defeated 7 times World Heavyweight Champion Harley Race. And there you see it, and I'm not even sure that Flair is even aware. Yes, he is. You can tell now. He realizes it. His goal has been reached. His great achievement in life in winning the World Heavyweight Championship for a 3rd time. And you can see the crowd and how excited and pleased they are. Ric Flair, clearly the odds-on favorite by the fans, has done what many people consider to be impossible. And Flair now being congratulated.
Angelo Mosca, Gordon, runs in, lifts him high to the air. They carry him around the ring with that championship belt. And Harley Race still wanting to fight.
Ray still trying to understand it, still trying to figure it out.
All of Ric Flair's many cohorts and friends into the ring to congratulate him on this tremendous victory as his hand is held high by referee Gene Kiniski. Walks him around the ring with a championship belt as they all congratulate him. And his dream of the goal has been fulfilled right here. And what a night, and what a match, and what a battle for Ric Flair.
No question about it, Bob, and I'll tell you once again, I think we go back to it. We said it earlier in the match. It was intensity and execution. And in the final moments, it was Ric Flair who apparently had the intensity and was able to execute, and that was the critical key.
Now again, being lifted up onto the shoulders. Angelo Mosca riding him piggyback around the ring.
There you see it on the screen. Ric Flair, the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion, winning it for a 3rd time. And let's not, by any means, sell the defeated champion short. A fantastic battle, a game battle all the way. It was Ric Flair's night, no question about it. In a rematch, I'm not sure it couldn't go the other way just as easily.
I think you're right there. There's no doubt that it could, and there's no doubt that if they wrestled 5 or 6 or 7 times, Gordon, it'd be hard to pick a winner. I think they're just that close, and they're just that determined, and they're just that fine-honed as athletes.
No question. I'll tell you something. All I can say to the millions of people who are watching all over the world tonight via satellite and here in the beautiful Greensboro Coliseum.
There's Ric Flair's wife, by the way, Gordon. Let me interrupt you right there.
But all
I know she's got to be happy.
Well, you can see that, a tremendous embrace between the two of them. Obviously, a tremendously pleased woman, and you can just imagine the agony that she had to go through when Ric Flair suffered that early on injury in the match. It looked very bad for him, but he proved indeed he did have that intensity to come back. He had that tremendous desire deep down inside. And like we were just saying, on any given night, it could have gone the other way.
The flair for the goal and the dream of Ric Flair having been fulfilled on Starrcade 83. Still a happy man, and I'm sure that all of the ramifications of that still haven't had time to sink into Ric Flair's head.
And the thing is, Flair, whether he's thought about it yet, and I'm sure he hasn't.
I know what's coming.
He's got a man to face.
That's right.
He was here tonight.
That Dusty Rhodes too, right?
Exactly. It's going to be very interesting to see what does happen here, because Rhodes, of course, has held that championship on 2 different occasions as well. Well, there you see her in ecstatic, Mrs. Flair, getting a little cosmetic treatment there, and certainly understandably so. But Ric Flair being congratulated now by Rick Steamboat and others in the ring. Again, I must congratulate Gene Kiniski. I think he did an excellent job as an official. He's a former world heavyweight champion, a great athlete, and I think he called it right down the middle.
And while we're talking about championships too, while we have a chance right here,
Turn it on.
Gordon, let's don't forget the World Tag Team Champions, the new ones, and of course, Rick Steamboat and Jay Youngblood.
Exactly. A well-deserved victory for those 2 youngsters. They're going to have a tough road to hoe ahead of them. Interestingly enough, now Ric Flair must pick up.
Jesus.
And see if we can catch these words.
Whew. I don't really know how to begin. Oh, thank you very, very much. To try and explain what a major part all of you have played in this. To try and explain what a major part all of you have played in this would take a long time, but I want you to know that each and every one of you that are here tonight, and each and every one of you that were out in the closed circuit locations, this is the greatest night of my life, and I can't thank you. Thank you very, very much.
Well, a highly emotional Ric Flair, and certainly understandably so, flushed with victory, weary, severely beaten, no question about that, but he emerged the victor. He made some comments there that certainly are heartfelt, and I think that really, for all of those people who personally wished him well, and for all of those people who had them in their thoughts and their prayers, I can't help but believe that this helped bring him a victory.